Oh my. Mm. Oh my. Oh, we're not on air yet. Give it about... Refresh? Oh, we're on, baby, we're on. Alrighty, it's nighttime, everyone's off, gone to sleep. We're free to unfilter the filters of mouths and life. Hope everyone's had a good day. It's now 12:43 and 12:30 at night. Hope everyone's having a great weekend whenever anyone sees this. Taking a break to relax, trying to find some things, kick back and take it easy. So, run through about this game so far from what I know, since it's the third and final episode I'm going to make. I guess I can go through a little bit of a rundown of what this is all about. And if you want to see the first in-depth playthrough, I'd suggest you go watch the first episode, and if not, go watch the, after that one, go watch the second episode. It's a bit, it's about going, the second one's more of like going through and trying to figure out everything else to, get the other endings. And we have about 2 more endings left, and the 2 more endings are picking up items, picking up the knife and making it to the ending, and then, picking up nothing and then making it to the ending as well. But the game so far seems to be about a man who's woken up in a place, he has lost his entire memory, and he tries to make his, well, he makes his way back home, but while doing so he meets a lot of questions along the way, which is it's a very interesting game because it's kind of mind-twisting. It's really strange because you know what? Fuck it, let's play it. I'll explain it to you at the end, because this game is, honestly, for how much it was fucking fascinating for me. So, I'm gonna go ahead and play this third one, not like I did the second episode, because I didn't like that. I didn't like how I did the second episode. Still learning, in the beginning. All I remembered, at that point, was finding myself alone. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet, a flashlight. Okay. Yeah, looks like someone took a dookie right there, but believe me, it's not a dookie, I promise you that much. That house. Where was I? Told you, it's not a dookie. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? I didn't recognize his face. He was still kind of warm. Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot he repeats that. Yeah, kitty. That's the condom lamp. Anywho. Hang on. Yeah? Yeah? Oh, okay, never mind. Let's go ahead and travel the house of this random man's house that I don't know where I am. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and in a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Receipts, pens, and blurry photos. Looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? And you gotta really pay attention to the dialogue in this game, because it's very foreshadowing. And I played through it the second time, and it was just... it was fucking fascinating, man. And Dulu staying in the corner. I'll be. Shat on the walls. Blood on the wall. Smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there's blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man. I had to get out of there. Is there anything else? That man died in the hallway. What was the blood doing there? This game was very unpredictable when I first played it. I actually found it quite amusing, because with these games, half of them have usually been like a big monster sort of type game, and the trailer didn't really expose much besides exploration and a really dark mist, so it was kind of like you don't know what's going to come along, and really it was just more story oriented, which was fucking amazing. And you never see games do that anymore, which was actually nice to have a story-oriented game. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home and seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs and try to find a way out. As I walked along the corridors, I saw a mouse humping the fucking floor, chopped to a sticky pad trying to get to his hole. Thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. Looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? And I also like that is that it asks in like a past tense sort of vibe. And that made me think a lot. Okay. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they had seen a lot of use and were caked and damp, smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? This was an odd place to keep yard tools. What would they have been used for in here? I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Oh wait, hang on. Something must have opened somewhere. Yeah, this game's fascinating, trust me. Once it hits the end, man, I had the most unexpected endings. Like, the answers to the endings, because it really... It trips you up, man. Like, you don't expect it. The shelf was full of books on its local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. There were scribbles of all kinds of random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Sometimes I click more than once on these things, because as you recognize, there's no signal that, it's gonna end the, gotta kinda investigate, because it doesn't tell you if it's not gonna pop up again. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. How long had this been rotting here? The man upstairs didn't look like he'd been dead a long time. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. So last time well, you'll see why. You'll see why I keep going back and forth down the fucking stairs and shit. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. Had I been sleepwalking again? Was that how I got to the house? The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wondered if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning or him. There's a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked to be treetops. It seemed odd that the tray had been left there, considering how clean the rest of the bathroom was. I'm guessing, yep, okay. Go on, head on around, go on back to the goddamn floor room and go on over here and listen to that big ass bang, cause it scared the shit out of me almost every goddamn fucking time. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. Some things in this game, man, as much as I replayed it, fucking still scares the shit. Wait a minute. Why didn't that unlock like it's supposed to? Yeah, there we go. See, you'd think with that happening that there's someone else in the fucking house with me. There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Keycard, locker, the last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. Little raton. The smell of old dishes and moldy food was dizzying. And I wouldn't explore the house to see if there's anyone else there, man, but couldn't find anything. And for how this game is, believe me, it's not. It is not poorly designed. So, like, if they wanted to make someone run up the stairs, they would have did so. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had been obviously moved before. Maybe I had found a way out. I must have moved it, right? And that right there. Coincidence? I think fucking not. I heaved the box forward and I finally gave. There was a ladder going underground, where a box was, and a dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wonder where his wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt. Looked like more than one. A lot of traffic. Whatever this place was, it was obviously used a lot. Fuck that word. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower given near the old rail station. The guy upstairs must have done this, but what was in his interest in the water tower? Some of the markings matched the scribbles I saw on the bookshelf upstairs. Ah, yes, okay. I need some fucking water. It's from my throat growing dry. I need some moisture on the back of my throat. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in the town over the last few years. Wait, there was photos. Photos of our house. The hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, try to find some kind of information. And that right there, I went and looked fucking everywhere for information in the house. I did not find a damn thing. Oh, Rachel, please be okay. I wanted to rush home, but I had to find a way out first. And I needed to see what else was down there. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. Why did I take the gun? Did he say anything else? No. It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old, faded paper, covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them in black and blue faded ink. I could only make out a few letters. None of it made any sense to me. Oh, my fucking eyes itching. Hey, I got something in my eye. Yeah. Okay. There looked to be bones, half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that had stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. It looked like the clothes that the woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? I wondered what would I have found if I had dug deeper. It's fucking strange, man. This game is fucking strange. Some kind of homemade rack slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? The smell in that room was like old grease and rot. I wasn't getting any close to finding anything useful. Rusted hooks, like the kind you find in a butcher, hung from the ceiling. They looked pitted and worn from heavy use. That man upstairs? Did he do this? I was getting more nauseated the longer I stayed there. I felt sick and weak, like I hadn't eaten for days. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans, some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. The slight fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. It looked like a cage. It was small. There was something coating the bottom, something wet. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. Ding dong, see, I thought this was someone right here. Because I thought it was one of those games. Because obviously, you look at his legs, you look at his legs, you look at my legs, you look at his head, you look at my head, you look at his chest, you look at my chest, you look at his body. It wasn't. Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing here? If I was scared before, I was terrified now. Why were there photos of our house there? And these clothes? Why was I here? I checked my back pockets and realized my wallet was missing. Did I come to that house or did somebody bring me? This is where it gets interesting. Trust me. Follow me on this one. Latest March. Batman. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. Rachel. There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. I had the rope now. There must have been a use for it around somewhere. See, now this part also confused me. Because well, no, never mind. It said that. It could obviously be used on a ladder, but you know, when you say it like that, you think it could be used elsewhere. I need to grab my fucking water. That little tiny bitty fucking drop wasn't enough. The rope I found would let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? I could hear the faint hum and the smell from before starting to get worse. A bunch of old newspapers we'd pasted together. The message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out. Danger due to cave-in. I wanted nothing more than to get out of there. You see how it sounds like he's talking in the past tense? Like, that was something else that tripped me out at the beginning of the game. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as it pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my legs was bad enough as it was. If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I thought. I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. Guy who doesn't like guns has a familiar weight. Interesting. An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through there. But it was so high up, that must have been a sore landing. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Odd. There was a similar dirt on my own shoes. Uppies. Disgusting. It was a mess. Filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. It looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyways. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? Kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Yes. I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? God damn it. Anyways, we gotta turn all this. Oh fuck, man. I don't know, man. This game's ending so fucking confusing. Because once you beat it, it's just like everything's so confusing. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyways? Whatever these valves did, one wasn't pumping in water anymore. Number 2. Wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyways? Yes, sir. And as we walk to 3 and 4, we open the door. And as we creep our way all the way to 3, we see what we need to do. I was gonna make a rhyme, but I couldn't fucking think of one. Spin the wheel. Make a deal. Win the deal. I choose case number 5, Howie Mandel. If I ain't fucking in there, you fucking suck. Because why? Blame everyone else for your problems. It works nowadays. Turning those valves must have drained the water in that was in that room. Turning those valves must have drained the water that was in this room. There was a ladder I could reach. Stupid. Looked like the water drained out in that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? I pocketed the small key, but it was so odd shape I had no idea what it might open. Me question too. The safety poster had definitely been seen better days. How old was this facility? The faded paper was yellow and dusty, but it had obviously been wiped off recently. Ah, yes. I repeated it again. Door was locked. I could see a faint light within. Hello? Anyone home? Oh, doo-doo stain. Oh. Yo, Chief, you good? You good, brother? Of course not. Found another dead body. A sewer worker. But the wounds all over his face and the body, I'd figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. What do you know? Coincidence, we got a knife. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Of course. I thought about the knife, and I had found with some disgust I carefully picked up the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. Sicko. I was feeling even more sick from seeing another dead man. I didn't want to get any more blood on my clothes. Fucking dead pervert. There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. Hey, what? I used the keyring to unlock the door. The shelf, full of security tapes, was strictly organized, though covered in dust. It looked like the tape I found was one that was missing from the shelf. I wonder what was on that tape and why it was thrown out. There was a dusty VCR on the security desk. I wondered what was found on the VHS tape. Did I play the tape? The video showed a man right there in the sewers being attacked. The tape was fuzzy and stretched, like somebody had tampered with it. It looked like there could have been 2 men. I couldn't stand to watch that video again. And it is the first time, I said the last 2 times. Sit down if you want to fucking watch it if you can't stand it. And there was one door that we needed to unlock. Oh, fucking stupid. Thought it came from the fucking door. Goddamn, man. This game starts to blend in together when you start playing it all up. Open sesame. Throw a bunch of keys in the key ring I had found on that sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. That room didn't seem like much of a place for drinking. What was the point? Hey, the wall was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was assessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in the ravines in the forest and, in one case, dumped into a back of an abandoned truck. I know what that abandoned truck is, motherfucker. Bodies had been found in the ravines, plural, in the forest, and one case dumped into the back of an abandoned truck. Ah, it didn't say crashed truck, though. I couldn't be sure, but I thought some of these same articles had also been pasted in the back of those tunnels. Did that sewer worker find this room? Is that why he was killed? The faded receipt was half trampled on the floor. It was from a local train station. The end was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be. Did I keep the receipt? Yep. I nearly folded the soiled receipt and slipped it into my front pocket. Nose is so fucking blocked. Ah, summer fucking issues, man. Blow it out yours. This faded. Oh, we read that already. Oh, we read that already. Oh, there we go. Out there we go. Here we go. Do it, man. I'm gonna do it, man. Would I need that gun or that knife before the end? See, he's talking in past tense. That's what's tripping me the fuck out right now. Both weighed me down and aggravated as my legs and aggravated my leg as I climbed the ladder. Old ladder. Why couldn't you just say ladder? Any ladder is a ladder as long as you can climb the ladder. Could have said rustic, could have said rusty, could have said derelict, could have said overused, could have said overrun, could have said aged, could have said weathered, could have said anything else in the book, but you chose old. Why? The thought of that videotape still gave me the chills. Who was it that I didn't want to be seen? Who was it that didn't want to be seen? Was it the same person that hid all those clippings away in that locked room? Suddenly that awful smell gave way to the pine-scented blast of fresh air. If I can't read sentences, I just start fucking making my own, goddammit. An old ladder leading up to the ancient waterway tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I can climb it. Did I extend the ladder? I popped the latch and brought the ladder down. Bite. Blood mark. In a patch of smeared dirt in the grass, there was a beat up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any kind of gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards of ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. From the railing, I could see over the woods heads down to the entrance of the sewers. Had I come through here before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Down the ladder. Down the ladder. To your right. To your right, to your right. I tried the little key. I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved to open the rusty door. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit the decrepit structure. Thank you. My brain works. Does yours? Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch, the wicked west. Ding dong, the witch. An old ticket booth that had looked fairly ruined. Inside the ticket window were the sheets of paper and... wait. What were these? Train receipts? I thought the receipt I had picked up might match these, but of course not. The station had been closed for years. The ticket must have been for the newer station that opened up on the other side of town. After this one was, well, abandoned. However, I noticed a strange of fresh... I noticed a series of freshener... I noticed a series of Oh, I love it. A fresher looking paper, covered in tiny notes, scribbles and diagrams. It looked like someone had been leaving through the old ledgers, looking for something, a name perhaps? Map. An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course! The map I found on those tunnels had a similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even the train yard. What was he doing coming back here? The sorry condition of that place seemed sad somehow, but also ominous. The old train was ripped open and hanging from a shred of metal. As well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outwear inside the train's shell. I could see a few faint impacts, like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I had found as I thought. It was getting colder out there and I had to keep moving. An interesting find, eh? An interesting find. I like this game because it's all investigative. Nothing is left behind or unmarked. Nope. Goddamn near me made me fly backwards. Run through the forest. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I'd seen. Whoever was poking around in these tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out the various campsites and the walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. I almost wish I had paid more attention to those crazy scribblings. Maybe I would have been less nervous about entering. Bro, I read everything correctly. You know what I did? I went and read. I did the same thing I did last time, and it showed me everything. So I needed to take this path, and then I needed to take... I came here too soon. I need to take this path. Apple? Shambled into the dirt and grass. It's a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and it was surprising to see my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I can find my driver's license too. I thought the fence I can... Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wonder if I could find my way around. We gotta take this one. Then we hit campsite. Then we can hear someone stagger off into the wilderness. And we don't touch that yet. We leave that. Then we hit this one. And we can hear him scrolling off again. Dude, fucking god, footsteps, show me the fuck out. There were some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait. There was a notebook too. Did I read it? Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after worn page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest pages contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. Rachel. Her name was on the last blue list, and had a mark beside the blue ink. The names Daphne, and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks look older and faded. I blame my English literature teachers. They taught me that there could be less words always used in grammar shit. Now I'm confused with everything I do. Where am I now? Oh, here we are. The grimy sink had a small patch that had almost looked in it that looked almost clean. In my English teacher would have said the grimy sink had a small patch that looked clean. That was almost clean. There wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. There was a damp smelling plank leaning against the stall door. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Did I take it? Yes. I managed to carry the plank under my arm, so I didn't get it in the way. Off we go to Wonderland, Alice. Off we go. Off we go. Alice, you're not a fucking wizard, but I will ban you to the fucking Wonder Realms of fucking Wonderland because your stupid fucking blonde-haired ass childlike behavior. You want to talk to a fucking rabbit? You can go fucking talk to a talking rabbit. You want to act as mad as a hatter? You can go be best friends with a mad as a hatter. And I'll tell you what, you think that invisible cat you keep fucking talking to with that fucking smile? I'll give you a fucking cat with a fucking smile. Oh shit. Fuck, I can't remember which path to take. Is this one? Fuck, it wasn't that one. Don't fucking remember. No, I do not. I don't fucking remember where the fuck to go. It's like I'm in November. There's nowhere else to go. People call me racist, but they don't know Cholo. Because I'm half Cholo and half Gringo. But that's okay. The plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Did I use it? Oh no! Two bodies of two young women were half dug into a hasty, shallow grave between the trees. The younger looking one was still face up and her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. I was panicking, but I couldn't leave them like that. Did I clean up the gravesite? They seemed so exposed, which is what bothered me the most. I covered them up as best as I could and stuck a few twigs in the ground to create some kind of headstone. Where had these two swimming come from? What were they doing out here in the woods? Do 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 do. I tried to do the goddamn pipe sound. You don't know me, man. The table, drill, picking the table, sitting lonely amongst trees, head carving the marks from the years of previous campers. As I try to read some of the names, the marks I looked on enough I found. If I wanted to, I could carve something onto it. Did I? Did I know. I slipped the knife back into my boot and left the table alone. Maybe I want to put my fucking name in it. You don't know me. Yes, we did. I feel like a teenager defacing the table. Such a rebellious fellow, I tell you that man. That man there. I wonder what my name is. I just realized that. I don't know this guy's name. It said R and H. What the hell's my guy's last name? R and H. Maybe my name is Harry. Maybe I am Harry Potter. Did I just fucking find a way out? Oh yeah, I did. That's right. The sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. Nothing back there, so we just gonna go ahead and make our own goddamn way out of the goddamn forest. Once I finally found the exit, once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Bye bye. 90. Bro, you can't just be putting fucking numbers on the goddamn screen like that. Creep me the fuck out, bro. This is new. What the fuck do you mean 99? I had to press on the side of the claustrophobic before. What the fuck do you mean 99? My fucking game developers just pulled a GG on my ass? What the fuck? What the fuck was that all about? I didn't see that the first time. Hold the fuck up. If I gave up, I'm not giving up, goddammit. I just want to go back through my recordings. That creeped me the fuck out. Because it was new, it was unfucking predictable. I didn't fucking expect that at all. Hang on. Get on my channel. I want to see this shit right fucking now. Videos. Live. Here we are. Let's see, is this the end of the forest? I'm walking backwards here, so I enter there. We're nearing the end of the forest. Swear to fucking God, there was no 99 there, bro. Let's see. Let's go ahead and skip. Imagine watching some dumbass going through his fucking video just to see if he actually seen a 99 number, which was never there beforehand. Sounds like someone who would be me. A beautiful, charming, handsome, young, quick-witted Chad. Okay, across the river, yada yada yada. Get an achievement, like the Giga Chad I obviously am. By the looks of it, the fire hadn't been extinguished. Oh wait, I forgot to go check out the women. No, forgot to go check out the women's tents. I just like fucking dipped out of there. Okay, here we are. The forest started to thin out a bit and go through the trees. I can make out parts of the town beyond the first hints of light. The mysterious of that force behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found, someone had taken them from their campsite and murdered them. Was that the same person who had left the odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and find a way to reach Rachel. See, that's what it said the first time. This time it just said fucking GG like I was some fucking top gamer or some shit. It didn't tell me fucking shit. It just said 99 or GG and just fucking left me on my goddamn way like I was some fucking big man who just like left women to die. Not calling the fucking cops. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a mechanist for all those years. Machinist, Mechanist, Mapinist, whatever. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just a wind. Well, now I'm fucking afraid to go back there because this said something different. Fuck you, pussy! Shine the light! Get out of here, you fuck! Why does it say 99? This is why this game is confusing as fuck. Hello, officer. Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. My first wallet, now this. Did I tribute my rage? Put it on my wrist anyway. I wish I could remember why all my stuff was missing. I found the body of a security guard just doing his job. No doubt his face was covered in blood from some kind of head wound. I wonder if it's my flashlight. Power was shut off all of a sudden out of fucking nowhere because there was lights on. That's what he said. See, so if you've seen lights on and all that stuff, and we've seen that person there, it'd make you think that we're getting set up, right? Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed an old bulletin board with a wall on the wall. None of it really matters, to be honest with you. It just talks about his fucking past. No, I should go do it anyways. Yep. My chair scared the shit out of me, dude. I thought that was a moan. Fucking sound like that, man. Made me want to shoot myself. The open locker stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but his face was unrecognizable. That woman's photo, I knew I had to get back to Rachel to find out what happened. I know what happened to Rachel now that I played this a third time. I gotta remember not to go through that. That leads... I can't get out, and I fucking hurt my character's leg, and I can't move with the shit. There's a board containing yellow clippings of newspapers, cartoons, and notices. There were notes and to and from the guys that worked here. I had to yawn in each my ear. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over the general store after the factory closed. He and Rachel and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive, despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Posse. Our old break table, the lawyer of dust and grime, seemed to make the sting. Looked like some beer bottles had been used on the table recently. I wonder what was that guard doing on his own break in his lunchroom. I'm too tired to fucking read these, man. I'm just start making shit up. You already get the gist of it, unless you're a little bit... Well, a little bit, not as fast-paced as other individuals. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. See, he says when we worked there, which makes it sound like he's seeing it from an observant point of view, which is even more confusing, because he should say here, because he's there. But whenever you say there, it makes it sound like you're doing it, which is you saying there. It's weird. It's like, is he talking in the third perspective, or is he like breaking fourth wall barrier shit and mixing it? Another panel that I hoped could help me get to the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. That's gonna start my rap career. The locker was completely messed. Hidden at the bottom of the door was a magnetic keycard. Did I take the card? I slipped the keycard into my pocket. From the musty smell, I assumed one had used this locker a long time. No one had used this locker. Another panel, I hope it could help me get to the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. Power panel was still not working. Did I try it again? Yes. power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. Another power panel that I hoped could help me get to the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yes. See, they say someone was following me. So I question what would happen if I went back there and I just, like, sat still. Cause this game's just eerie fucking turn of events, one after the other, man. And the ambience, I don't know if there's a sound in the ambience, but every time I fucking play it, I always get a feeling of uncertainty. And I've played this game 3 fucking times and I still get that fucking feeling of chills. And I question if there's like a sound that's playing. Struck with the hammer the old wooden boards that came apart easily. After I removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. This was my locker. There was factory. It stank of booze in there. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. This room was nothing but bad memories. Booth. There's mostly empty booze bottles. I wondered if that had been the man in the house had something to do with this. Sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. I question you, baby. Your locker smelled like the booze. But at the same time, we seen that man in the forest, so what if we're getting set up? We're free to go back down now. Everything else from here is kind of like a taint standstill of nothing. The door opened now that the power was back on. Another smudge of dirt, similar to the one that I found on the sewers, was on the floor. They didn't look like the footprints were mine, but they were probably too faint to tell. Fuck, I don't like how I got my sound so damn high. God, I'm getting fucking chills. My skin's fucking cold. And it's fucking hot in this fucking room. A large pile of building materials and debris blocked the way. And the stuff blocked the way. The factory floor never did get the repairs it needed. We closed too soon for that to happen. Poor store. A rusted old regulator of some kind sat dusty and unused against the wall. Within the dust were steep scratches like from some kind of tool or blade. Planks and tools were broken up, parts by passage. That factory was like a tomb now. It never got repaired and we never came back. Sad. Big sad titty galaxy or something like that, I don't fucking know. The power box looked like it was running again. I guess those switches must have done the trick. With the power box working again, the door wasn't locked. Did I go through it? I pushed the handle and stepped through the door. All the words were much. I threw the black doo-doos. The rack of flashlights hung on the wall. One of them was missing. Wait a minute. They were exactly the same flashlight I was carrying. I turned my own over and looked at the bottom, judging by the label of it definitely could have come from the rack. Wait. Guess West did something else. Usually questions how I got. Oh, maybe that was the end. I almost slipped in the mug as I stepped back outside. My mind was racing. Who had been drinking in that locker room? Was it the guard that I found outside? The sight of that man slumped against the fence came back to me and waved and sickened me. Did the flashlight I carried belong to him? Or maybe to Norman? And he and Rachel were friends. Maybe he could help. I knew he lived about the store he ran now. Maybe that was where I could go. I could find a way back to town. See, now, if I would have felt one way, which is the door that I didn't take, it would have just took me a straight path straight to town. But since I took it that way, we get to see the truck that I'm assuming this is the truck that guy was talking about. A pickup smashed into the guardrail and stood silent. What was this truck that newspaper clippings had mentioned? Was there really a body found here too? I looked closer at the tailgate and could see a series of dried streaks down its back. Inside the truck was dried blood and broken glass. I was surprised this hadn't been towed away yet. Da-da, 62. I don't know why it showed me 99. I'm still trying to figure that shit out because that confused the fuck out of me. Make sure there's nothing back here. Nope. Alright, here we are. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food in slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking up from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yep. I cleaned off the card as best as I could. It was pretty beat up. Amazed to have found my credit card, and now this. I took the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Always wanted to see if it would start raining. I never actually sat here to figure that out. Because it just stopped right there for no reason. Oh, it's reacting with the lights. Okay, I was gonna say, why the fuck is purple flashing back there? I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television. I crept to the house really quiet. And I crept quietly, very quiet up the stairs. It was almost very weary. I opened the door. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? A speck of something dark and wet stained on one of the sleeves. See, that dialogue changed too, because usually he says it. My nose is clogged and it sucks trying to fucking talk because I gotta be a mouth breather for like 2 minutes. My throat dries quick. Fucking allergy season, man. Just want to get a drill, fucking put some lidocaine up in that motherfucker and goddamn shove my nose down it. What about nasal spray? Well, some nasal spray uses steroids, and pharmaceutical companies make it so your nose swells up even more. So once you do that, you can't get off the fuckers, because it's just like a drug that you can't really get off. It's like, you know, you want to get off and you gotta fight it all the time, but you can't really do it. So you gotta be a fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be a fighter. Anywho, originally that was talking about the soot or the black spot that was at the train crash that it was originally talking about, and it usually puts that right there. So surprisingly, it didn't have that right there this time. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifle shotguns and even a few items that I didn't even think were legal here. One of the saws on the rack was empty, but the gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handguns was for Norman, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would have fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Nope. Though it weighed on me, I had a hard time parting with a weapon just then. You're thinking about killing Norman Osborn, are you? I tell you, he's one outrageous radical dude. He sails on a green surfboard and fucking drops boogie bombs around the fucking town and does fucking Fortnite dances now. What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling, or I wondered where it led. Did I pull the chain? Yes. I gave the chain a single tug and a simple floating ladder fell to the attic and it popped down. Oh, excuse me. Is there still any coffee in this? I know it's a little late, but I'm fucking tired and I'm trying to do some videos. There was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I cut it open? Yes, we did. The old cardboard box was stuffed. Wait, they were Rachel's things. Old clothes and photos. What were they doing in Norman's place? And where was Norman? I had to find Norman. I walked to Norman. I couldn't remember if we'd given these to Norman for safekeeping or something, but why would we? Must find John Norman. Annihilate John Norman. Suck off John Norman. Downlighter from John Norman. TV. The TV still flickered some. Indecipherable channel. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker, one of my few friends, and like that, and he's down and he's on chat. Oh my god, his face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were still with his shock. Oh god, Norman, you bastard, what are you doing here with Rachel? Did she do this to you? Did you hurt her? Norman, maybe you deserve, maybe not. I was too angry, too upset to even think about him. Things left right where he lied. I didn't touch him. Fuck you, Norman. No, I couldn't believe what I was saying, Norman. Oh, wait, yeah, we already read this. I don't remember going in here. Oh, yeah, it's sketching. I didn't close his eyes. I did close his eyes the last 2 times I played, so I didn't close them this time. We're gonna see what happens. See, so my guess with the train station black suit on the coat is either Rachel died at that train incident, or Rachel was in the truck and died, or what happened, because it's very confusing at the end. What was in this place? Message. See, now it changed. The dialogue fucking changes, man. You gotta go back and forth between this shit. Like, that 99 thing fucking weirded me the fuck out, because it was so goddamn new. Let's go. I used the hairpin and picked the lock. The hair snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. And the usual postcards and magazines, stacked canned goods, so with their much reassured you should stop by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty. A fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. I wonder if someone had robbed the place before killing Norman upstairs. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of Walter White, Water Tower. It looked like to be in much better shape then. All the postcards that seemed to be most popular if you left. That night continued to horrible turn after horrible turn. It seemed like it had been a week. Who says it'd? Who the fuck says it'd at the beginning of a fucking sentence? Who the fuck says it'd? Who? Who? I mean, just say it had. It makes it. I don't know, more English, proper, something about it. I mean, if my fucking math teacher told me to my fucking English teacher told me to be itted, I'd fucking smack the shit out of it. I swear to fucking God, I am not against that, but like, itted? It had been weeks since I'd seen Norman, but to find him like that, I thought of him still lying on the floor back there. The gun I carried seemed ever present. Seeing those dusty boxes of old clothes was a shock, but how had they been there? What was Rachel doing at Norman's place? I feel like I had only discovered more questions and no answers, but I was really close to home. Still to find out the truth. Okay, here's another interesting part. Check this shit out. I think I passed the door. Had the wrong gate. This one was locked. We went too far. Yeah. Was I at the right fucking... Did I pass it? Don't tell me I passed it. Okay. The neighbor's local postbox, the letter was sticking out as if someone didn't push it in all the way. I knew it wasn't right, but... Did I look at the letter? Yes. The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address. Her handwriting looked familiar. The handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with. He is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out, away from both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I'll even want to, but he deserves that. He'll He deserves that at least. Goodbye. I don't know what to think. My mind was racing, my heart was pounding, I had to get home, my head just had to. Shit stain on a wall, looks like a liver, a kidney, and a ping pong ball. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expecting, but also afraid. I shitted on the grass, shitted on the lawn, shitted on my goddamn grandson's phone. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I held my breath as I approached my R-back door. I was terrified to step inside. See, why did he say R-back door? Because it just gets so fucking confusing. And I'll explain both the endings, because I want to do one ending one more time. This house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch on by the door and the power was off. I want to do one ending, and I want to do another ending. Because I want to see what happens. I'm gonna do this ending, and then I'm gonna speedrun and do the other ending, because I want to see what happens. No. Wait. I'm gonna do this ending, and then I'm gonna do the other ending, because the other ending would line up fucking perfectly, and it would even be more confusing. There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had they been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. The credit card bill was there. Did I open it? I ripped open the bill and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Bing bong, bing bong. I had to find another way in. I goddamn locked my door. Don't know where I put my freaking keys, man. I'll tell you what. I tell you what. I tell you what. Yeah, I got the old PS2 system, goddamn green old pillow, and the goddamn old man buying a long chair, man. I tell you what, this goddamn 4HK TV next to this fucking condom statue. Oh, I tell you what, man. This goddamn chair, man. You can sit in it so long ahead, and you can just stroke off it. Okay. Back to the story. Our television I had purchased before I knew I was going to lose my job. Felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but then by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Who the fuck is Rachel? I had found the last missing piece from my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make sense. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Keep it anyways. Yes. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had gotten part of my life back. Still, this made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Fuck, this game is eerie as shit, man. I've played it like fucking 4 times already, and it just makes me fucking... gives me the chills, man. Makes me feel fucking paranoid. The books, there were half mine and half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books I did. One of the books in particular seemed a bit odd. I remember donating it, but not in that edition. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? Inside Rachel's suitcase was faded, a few days worth of old clothes and personal effects like train tickets. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date that in time matched the receipt that I had found. Really? Wait till why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was that really the matter? My eyes are dry. The mirror is broken. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered across the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. I wasn't sure I wanted to. Bathroom?
Yes, sir.
extinguisher needed to be replaced. One of the taps was always stuck. Never got the time fixing it. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old clawed-footed bathtubs. See, this is where you see the emotional state change, which is weird. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made the house home. Like, I'm sorry, but if your wife kind of like dead, man, I don't think you worry about that bathtub so much. I think you'd be like showing up there and be like, man, well, she's not in the bathroom. So like, something up with this guy. Like, and I know for one of these games, it wouldn't seem like that's the type of case, but believe me, the way they fucking drug this game out, oh, believe me, it is. They did a very good job with this game. Wait, what the fuck? This room's not supposed to be like this. My laptop had been left on and only a tiny bit of power left on the screen was a website about the old tower. There was the key on the top of the drawer of my disk. Did I take it? Was it this fucking room? Or was I thinking about something else? I'm thinking about a different room. This room's okay. I'm too damn tired, man. Memories are just mixing together. Like fucking pool. Chlorine. This one. Oh no, wait. Fuck, I can't remember a goddamn thing. This one went to the basement. The other one went upstairs. And the other one had the crowbar. Because I gotta get down to that fucking wall. There are old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember the last Christmas. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There's an old dirty key in here. Did I take it? Yes. I took the small key and tried to remember what unlocked it. There were old clothes and tools and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. We had way too much junk. I had put this divider wall last summer so we can create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, and the door was stuck. And the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through it if I found something heavy enough. I had way too much junk. It looked like there was a plaster and an old trowel in here too. Oh yeah, okay. So there's evidence of drywall work, right? Go back upstairs, we'll take a right, hit the sprint, the grimy key I found in the basement, unlock the door, go ahead and hit inside. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yep. I lifted the heavy crowbar and appreciated its weight. By the looks of it, the crowbar had broken a few things. Now, check this shit out. This is where the game gets really interesting. I think someone was in the backyard. Thought I heard the fucking fence jiggle out there. Am I fucking hearing shit? Maybe it's game ambience. Did I break through the wall with a crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall and smashed a large hole enough hole to seep through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath was caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Christmas tree. I don't remember seeing that here the first time. Another one. See, there's blood there. Okay. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what was laying within, but I knew I had come this far. After all, searching all of this, I looked within to see the rags. Did I finally find my Rachel? No. Watch this. The rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside a tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what I could do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What I had been searching for this entire time, I remembered the look on Rachel's face when I come home, didn't I? Then an awful realization hit me right in the gut. I had been looking the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there. I wasn't going to find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? This part of the game always gives me fucking chills now that I start to realize it more and more, because he's talking to you. He's not talking to anyone else, and it's just like trips me the fuck out. My mind was spinning, and the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion, and as I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this, I must have drifted off. After I opened my eyes. I guess these books were actually mine then. My head was pounding. It was my wallet within its contacts intact. I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe someone stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest water tower. Was I at this place before? Yes. I should have said no. The next run will say no. Because I don't know... Maybe if I don't pick anything up, maybe it will tell the truth. Because it's like so weird trying to find its truth. But what does that mean? Because there was another person out there, and it did say it could have been 2 people stabbing that guard. Photo of the other man and his wife that I found in that house. Were those really his wives remain in those tunnels? It certainly seems so. What did I think? Did the other man murder his wife and bury her in their tunnels? No. Couldn't be sure. He could have been another victim. After all, he was dead when I woke up. In the dirt faded glass, I looked like nothing more than a faint shadow. There's only one set of toiletries by the sink. See, now there's only one thing. There's only one thing in all of the house. The whole game changed. It was a keycard I found at the bottom of that factory locker. I never did bother to use it. See, but it's confusing because you did find a bunch of Rachel's clothes. And everything else was there, obviously, evidently, actually. So maybe she actually was there. I'll have to say yes the next time. Oh wait, I am. That's right. Duh, stupid ass. Still didn't quite add up to had been... Was I the one going back to the factory? Yeah. It looked that way, didn't it? The locker room I had given up drinking, but... The laptop had finally run out of power. How long had it been left running? Oh, okay, so I still gotta go down and fucking check out the safe. See how he's talking to us now? Like, that is... Dude, that tripped me the hell out, because I was not even, like... I didn't pay attention to that the first time I'd seen it. My old office sat on the floor, where I used to keep tax records and other important documents. See, the last time I ran through this, bro, I put no, and he said... And this is where I started to catch on, and it tripped me the fuck out, because all I seen was... She was there. Unless you knew the end. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? I was like, this doesn't make any damn sense. This dialogue fucking just, like, it's weird. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I was like, oh, shit, maybe he's talking to me. I was like, nah, that couldn't be his fucking fact. Oh, shit, Rachel is real. Fuck. Dude, this game's trippy as shit. Okay, this is proof as well. I surmised at least the 2 names that must steal a notebook had been victims. Heather, Olivia, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose. Progress could have been that I found in the forest dead. I wonder what happened to the other names on that list, or others scratched out on the desk in those what tunnels. What was that other man up to? So there was 2 fucking people. Interesting. Why didn't I recognize this? Why did it take me so long to recognize this? It was a letter I had taken from the post box. It had gotten a bit wet in the rain. But if, well, who wrote that letter then? Who was Norman seeing? Oh, Norman. If I was wrong about Rachel, then what about him? Did I do the horrible thing to him? No. I couldn't have. I clearly wasn't seeing things correctly, but no, I can never do something like that. See, so now we're getting some of the answers right. And the TV changed. I had that old TV for so long, I didn't know if I could ever replace it. See how everything in the game, the cinematics, has changed? But it's so weird, because watch, I'll show you why. We gotta go back upstairs. We gotta get the computer stuff real quick. Then we'll go downstairs and I'll do the ting. My laptop was dead, but I found some notes and a loose paper in the drawer where I found the key. There was a yellow sticking out with 8-digit code on it. Are you here? Did I take it? The code looked like it might be for the safe, but what kind of phrase was that? I always wanted a game like this because it reminds me of a really good game that I've always wanted to play. Is called Who's Lila, but I'd never had the PC or anything for that. And Who's Lila is a game that talks about a kid named Will who... Well, I'll explain it after this. The code I found should have let me access the safe. Did I try to open it? I still got the fucking inch on my goddamn ankle. Yes. There's a poorly framed photo of what looked to be a small headstone in a graveyard. It was tucked away peacefully underneath an old maple tree. We did not bury those people underneath an old maple tree, did we? Oh no, this isn't a graveyard. Anyways, remember the train incident and the soot on the coat? So, she has to be there, dead somehow. Underneath it was another sheet of paper. This looked like some kind of MRI printout. It showed the top view of a brain scan, and I noticed the bottom scan had 2 whitish patches on it. Guy most likely has some brain tumors. I didn't recognize either on the image. Finally, at the bottom of the pile was a simple white envelope in front of it. Do not open until I tell you. Fucking strange. I guess this was as good a time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope to see what was it? Yes. I tore open the envelope and removed the yellow lined paper on it. It was a letter written in hand that showed a familiar letter. Yeah, I know this whole event has probably been difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me too. Well, maybe you can. It's so fucking weird, man. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but... Well, I hope you can understand why I've done what I've done. I don't even know what that means. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream. A quiet place to get our established, to live our lives, and to be together. But you know as well as I do, things can quickly change. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it's very clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize, in the end, though you may never forgive me for this, you may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I'm sorry it just had to happen this way. Rachel. See, this is confusing. We just said she wasn't real, and everything in the frames changed, right? So what the fuck is going on? Oh, how? Why? What the fuck? I'll show you the other ending after this one. Because there's still one more trophy I gotta get. This is why this game is fucking tripping me out so fucking hard right now. I love horror games. It seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. You can leave too, but I don't want to. The pile of mail on the floor I now saw was addressed to me. Bills, credit card offers, the letter from the bank, they were all addressed to me. See, this is all crazy, see? Go back to the kitchen. See if there's anything new at least. How many breakfasts had I eaten there completely alone? Come to think of it, I didn't even have a guest over. This is so fucking weird, man. There is shit moving around. I fucking heard that. That wasn't in game. That wasn't my fucking chair either. Fuck it, we ball. If I was guilty, could I take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it? Did I pick up the knife? Yep. And the knife kept firmly in my hand. The wall was cracked and pitted. Yeah, I was told by an inspector that the basement had been partially filled before I bought the house. But by the look of that wall, I was going to need to fix the foundation. Everything smelled musty and old down there. See, there's no fucking hole. What happened to the hole, man? I don't know, bro. Shit kinda trippy out, dude. Dude, I can't tell if I'm fucking tripping balls or just seeing a light turn on in the fucking hallway. I keep hearing sounds and shit. In the dirty faded glass, I look like nothing more than a faint shadow. The old cloth. Oh, it's a fucking dog. Finally, fuck, I hear life instead of fucking... Playing a horror game about a fucking being alone in an eerie fucking house does not work when you hear shit outside your home. The old claw-footed bathtub had been cleaned nearly enough. Still, it would probably do. You showed me the truth. I gotta take a piss. I'll read you guys this one. Back tour, eh? Back tour. Okay, turn off the lights, get my ass fucking nice and cozy, my little fucking chair. You showed me the truth. I wasn't sure there was any reason to keep going on. So what do you think? Shouldn't I just end this misery? Since I had arrived in this town, things had been difficult. Working in that plant, though, had been good for me. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with that. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense after some time after that, and my memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been the worst of my entire life. Would it even be possible to bounce back from everything that had happened? Everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I haven't even woken up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. What had happened to the other man I found in that old house? Had I killed him? Is that why I was locked in that room? Or did you? What the fuck do you mean by that, bro? What the fuck do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. After making it out of those tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. Boom. But who was it? But who was it that was attacked? And what had I been doing in Norman's place, or even in that old forest? It didn't look good, that's for sure. Had I been responsible for what happened there? What did you think? Who the fuck is he talking to? Was I guilty? Or was I just mad? Just for a second, though. Think about something else. Think about those poor girls I had accidentally discovered in the old forest. The notebook I had found in the woods had names in it. Names I think I saw somewhere else before. It could have been me behind that, could it? I would never do such a thing to such innocent people. So it was probably obvious to both of us now that I was the one going through those lockers, making a mess of the old factory. But what the hell was I doing there? I suppose it could have just been another episode. but I didn't understand. Was it really me drinking that boarded up the room? What had I become? What more is there that you're not telling me? I had to catch my breath to take it all in. At each point until the factory, things had only gotten worse. But then going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to settle in. That's when my perspective on all really started to change. Damn it, Norman. What were you doing with Rachel? I mean, what was going on? If all of this was a lie, then what was really happening? Someone had killed Norman in the store, but it wasn't me? Who else would have wanted him dead? But as painful as all of that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I'd seen and done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end to this entire ordeal. I had no idea, though, that was only the beginning. The silence in the house, I had first stepped through the kitchen door. That should have been my first clue. To think I went through all of that completely unaware of what I would discover. Did you know before the end? See what I mean? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? This game trips me the fuck out, man. It is a trip up. Did you mock me when I finally showed me the truth? You don't know what it's like to have everything ripped away from you in a heartbeat. How could I possibly go on, now knowing what I do, without Rachel, even though the thought of Rachel, I was truly lost. I drew a warm bath in the old tub and undressed. I wondered how many times I'd done this before, and thought about what it were, but... Ooh, that's trippy! No, don't look away. It's actually really easy, really peaceful. See, I just keep my arms in the warm water as I make cuts. It stings, but I can't really feel anything after that. Really, I'm just getting tired now. I have to thank you. This has been easy, but you were right. This was the only way. Fuck, bro. Oh, this is a crazy ass game, man. This game is crazy as fuck, man. I love this game. This game has shown nothing but fucking absolute invention. I'm pretty sure there's other games that have done this, but for this to just like show simplicity of a game to just like fucking goddamn jump out at you like this, it is perfect. Okay. Let us journey beyond into the next. All I remember is the point of finding myself alone. Oh, my head, where was I? It was so dark. So, this is where we just make a run through. We already know the whole entire fucking story. We know what's gonna happen. We won't touch anything. We will go straight to where we need to go. So Rachel was obviously an actual living person. We're not gonna give ourselves any fucking clues. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna see what the fuck happens. We're gonna play this game as if it was the beginning. Because I'm pretty sure there's multiple fucking endings to this game. Way more than 3. The trophies make it seem like there's 4. The trophies make it seem like there's 4 endings, but guaranteed there's like at least like 6 with the dialogue. 8 maybe. No, there is 6. There's 8. There was a ladder going to the underground where small dank door climbed down. Yes. It says without collecting anything, so. How am I supposed to, I can't do that one without collecting the key card, I believe. We're gonna have to see and find out. Because I'm pretty sure I can't do the... I don't know, we'll find out. I'm just gonna walk straight through. Had I looked at everything before moving on? No. So dark down there. All the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Ooh, this is interesting. It's new dialogue. This gives me the fucking chills, man. Amen. Says without collecting anything. Sayonara, motherfucker. Yay, bitch. You can break his leg almost, like you can hear it where his fractures. Said without collecting anything, so I didn't collect the rope. Ah, that dialogue changed and I didn't read it. He said something about finding a gun. I didn't look at the gun. There a faint trickling. What was that? We're just gonna skip fucking everything. Forget that fucking it makes me shit my pants every time. Okay, turn 3 times. Yep. Yep. Then we'll go ahead and go back. Go up the stairs. Ladder. Go up the ladder. Not stairs. Technically, you should just call a ladder diagonal or vertical stairs. No. That's not how that works. Turn those valves, go down. We didn't get the key this time. This is the first time I'm ever doing this. I could smell a hint of fresh air. I was anxious to leave. I was worried that I had missed something. Hey, you designed the game. You designed your own game. You know what you did, you cheeky little fuck. I wonder what was in that locker room I passed. Should have gone back to check. I gingerly climbed the ladder, my leg protesting with each step of the way. Suddenly I smelled that awful well. And we're gonna pass everything. We're not gonna touch a damn thing. This game is very small and short. God, man, when you're not sitting there, like, dissecting it, Jesus. It reminds me of Outlast. Outlast was a wonderful game, too. Because, just like with its story, if you really went into the story in detail, it gave a wonderful story. But, pretty sure I gotta go this way. Then that way. Then this way. Aha, I do have good memory. Okay. But just like Outlast, Outlast had a very good story to it. Really enjoyed that. I had stumbled through the dense forest with little grace of no sense of direction whatsoever. At least now, I thought the air seemed to thin out a bit, and the lighter path was ahead. I could almost see a way. Then closer to town, forest left ominous, looked like I was finally out the worst parts. I could sense its gaze still upon me. Perhaps woods didn't want me seeing what was held. But what, I wondered, could that be? Interesting. What was that other game I was talking about earlier? Oh, Who's Lila? Dude, that game fascinated me a lot. So basically, what the, yeah, we're not gonna go back. We're just gonna leave it this time. I went back the last 3 times. Oh, wait, we're not picking shit up. Right. I fucking hate that sound. Can I go through here? I can. Sweet. Let me go back outside, because I have never, says he hears faint rustling sounds behind him, but I actually haven't not checked that yet. Like, I haven't gone through the fucking game, so let me just go trick this guy real quick, because, I don't want that motherfucker fucking popping up on my ass right in front of me. I'm not in the mood for shitting myself right now. I'm trying to get through this goddamn game. I'll play with a scary guy another time. But he definitely fucked those girls up, and I don't want to know what he's gonna do to me. Okay, 1, 2. So Who's Lila talks about this guy named Will. Will is a kid who goes to school and he's not really normal. He's kind of an odd fellow. But what you do is he has a constant state of what I would call an apathetic sort of sense state where he feels no emotion. So in turn of doing that, you got to make the faces for the emotions such as disgust, happiness, and, you know, calm demeanor and all that stuff with his face. And, you basically gotta do that in these group of kids who are looking for a woman or a girl in high school that they're friends with named Lila, because Lila disappeared one night after the party, and while the party that they were at was with Will. And Will was chilling at this party. I can't remember if that was the DLC or not. No, that was the game. That was in the game. But anyways, Will was in the party, and he conversated with Lila at one point, and, well, they made it off pretty well, and something snapped inside of Will, and made him take on her personality. Or shit, I can't remember, there's something in between there that happened, I can't really remember it. It was more of a psychological thing, and it's cool because it follows the types of Jungian psychology, and Jungian psychology was a fascinating psychology. It was I've explained this in my podcast before, but anyways, Jungian psychology is right up there with Freudian psychology, but it follows underneath, both of those fall around underneath Nietzsche's psychology. With that being said, it followed Jungian psychology. So anyways, somehow Will got this woman kind of... He had this sort of what Jung would call splinter personality. And a splinter personality is something inside of you which... it's almost like a conscience. You know that little thing that tells you should go left instead of walking right? That voice that you always argue with in your head sometimes? Imagine if that got amplified to about, oh, I don't know, maybe tenfold and just like started, you know, arguing with you against your shit. Similar to what Jordan Peterson said, to become a great thinker you gotta have multiple people and then let them have a war inside your head. That's the sort of situation Will was having. Any great thinker was having at the moment, actually. So with doing that, that thing inside of Will's head chose Lila as a light for Will. And in doing so became so powerful in Will's mind, decided to take over Will. So, as Lila, the Lila in Will's mind, became more jealous and aggravated with who Lila was and why it was taking the attention from Will, became obsessed with Lila, killed Lila, dumped Lila out of the picture, and then became Lila in Will's body, and took over Will's body. Which was absolutely insane once you figure out that part of the game, because it's just like, what the fuck? Because that whole game there on out is just like a whole giant fucking brain teaser, because it's going through all the Jungian archetypes, and there's, I think, like 12 endings to that game. That game was fascinating, and I can't remember the guy who played it, because it was fun to watch him play. What the hell is his name? Friendly Hero? The Video Hero? Game Hero? What fucking time is it? Is it 3 in the morning? No, it's 2:17. Why the fuck was there a bird fucking chirping outside? What the fuck? Goddamn circadian rhythm fucking bird messed up. Goddamn someone woke you up slamming their fucking car door. Goddamn drug dealers out at 9 o'clock in the fucking morning waking up goddamn birds, ruining fucking birds' sleep schedules, motherfucker. I should be subscribed to him. He does a lot of horror plays. I should have fucking put his notifications on, because I know I'd watch him every now and then. See if I can find his name. I know his name's Hero something. No, that's guitar, that's something else. Something else. Mathematics. More guitar. Nile Red. Fuck, what the hell's his name? I'll fucking look up the game then. Ah, mainly Badass Hero. He did it. Yeah. Yeah, mainly Badass Hero did a very good, thorough, in-depth playthrough of it. Honestly, that game was pretty fucking amazing. It was funny to watch him play because you can't fuck around with the faces. Because you're supposed to make the faces of the Will's character as you go through the game. Anyways, Will gets caught. There's a chance to get caught, and there's a chance to not get caught. Will gets caught. And, as he gets caught, it's fucking funny, because he, if you go in depth to the game, he ends up, either A, not getting caught, A, getting interrogated by the police, getting a short jail sentence, or B, getting straight, or, he gets a small jail sentence, but he gets offered a conversation with the FBI guy, or C, he goes straight to the FBI guy. And in doing so, I believe that runs into the DLC of Tulpomancy, which Tulpomancy is a sort of psychological sort of thing of what people would... oh shit, wait. Yeah, that's right, I can't fucking... It says not to pick shit up, but I have to pick this shit up. Because I gotta get through the door somehow. I can't do it any other way. Maybe I could have used the rope. But what tulpomancy is, if I'm right, which some other people may say I'm wrong, which I don't fucking give a shit because I understand the psychological reasonings of it due to Carl Jung. But the game talks about tulpomancy, and what tulpomancy is sort of creating an alter ego, similar to how the main ego works. How Carl Jung explains it as in the way you go out to the world, you show yourself, but you don't, that's not you. Everyone does it in one way or another. It's like, you know, you trust one friend, but you don't trust him as much as the other, so you don't act the same way as you would around that other friend. That's what he means by, that's what kind of tulpomancy is. It's just if you amplified it so fucking much, and you made that imagination process so damn wide, that it just, like, formed an actual other personality, and just, like, amplified it. And it's crazy, because, it happens. And I mean, like, it's crazy as hell. It's very strange. And I think that's why that game, I really, 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 really want to play that game. I really want to watch Manly Badass Hero go through it again. Because it was fun watching him play. It was cool to see him play. I enjoyed that guy. Crazy doing this because he's not even worried about Rachel. Oh, damn. Without actually going through any of these, he doesn't really know who Rachel is. Rachel's never introduced into the game. Oh my fucking god. Ooh, what's the ending gonna be like on this one? Think about that. This game's been about perspective this whole entire time. I never introduced to a character named Rachel. Oh, fucking shit. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding. Chills ran through my clothes. I was expectant but also afraid. See, it says our backyard. What does he mean? I held my breath as I approached our back door, terrified to step aside. Game gonna be interesting now. I only want to know what's gonna happen because I'm so interested in what to find. Who's Lila creeped me out too, because it was just, oh dude, that game was a psychological trip. Like, if there's any game that can give you a psychological trip up, it's fucking Who's Lila. Like, that game made me think, and I enjoyed the shit out of it, because it dove into what I liked, and that was Nietzsche and Carl Jung. Don't get me wrong, Sigmund Freud had some great external psychology. He's the reason we have external psychology, to be like, that's why that person's going through that, and all that fun stuff of therapy and all that today. But Jungian psychology, oh, beautiful. Beautiful work. Door to the basement was locked. Where had I put the damn key? So I actually have to go find the key. Do I remember where the key is? It should be in this door. So it's one more up and then it's that door. Wonder how much the dialogue's changed. The laptop had been left on, only a tiny bit of power left. The screen was a website about an old water tower. There was a key in the top of my drawer disk. Did I take it? Pocketed the key. wait, yeah, gotta go down one more. Unlock the basement door. You unlock the basement door. Give me the key. Give me the key, give me the key, give me the key. There's an old clothes, tools, and other things we use, haven't thrown out yet. Garbage bags are stuffed with old paint cans, supplies. There's an old dirty key or Yup. Try to remember what it unlocked. I know what it unlocked. You don't. This door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did someone break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yep. I lifted the heavy crowbar and appreciated its weight. This is gonna be the weirdest fucking playthrough ever, man. Cause it's so unexpected. I don't know what's gonna happen. Carry on my wayward son. They'll be breast when you want them. Now you're weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. I can't believe I just got one lyric in the fucking iconic song wrong. See, now we know who Rachel is, but I gotta see this. Because Rachel wasn't introduced throughout the whole entire story. Fucking strange. So if you find the knife... Oh, how many fucking endings of this game are there? If you find the knife, she ends up being brutally stabbed and beaten to death. So it makes me wonder, what happens if you just take the gun? The real horror, there was that whoever had killed her had done it so intimately with bare hands. So this is what had been gnawing at the back of my mind this whole time. This is what I was afraid of. The thought about it all I had seen, wondering if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. This game leaves you fucking open. I haven't figured anything else out. It seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back to the basement. Shallow graves and deepest fears. No one tells me why I'm here. Go back in. Wait, I needed to put an end to the situation one way or another. Aha, but alas, there was no other way besides leaving the house. Because that's all I can do. Must have locked the door, there's no reason to return to the backyard anyways. Let's see what Mr. Genius has to say about all this fucking fanatic stuff. There was nothing for me, I think there was nothing for me here anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? Yep. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped me in some way to stay grounded. Kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs, piled of doctor's reports, but nothing ever seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up, I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away though, but I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even while everything was falling apart. This night unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act for a long-standing quarter I had been living. Waking up in that house tonight was a final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. Even the man I found in that old place was a mystery. Why was he dead? Who had done it to him? Was not something I could even begin to understand, or why, for that matter, I was in that damn room in the first place, and what was hidden within those sewers I had found. The tunnel to the man's house obviously led there, but was there something I missed? The tangled mess of that horrible forest was an experience never to want to repeat, but going from that forest to that old plant was hardly a relief. The memories of that place. It was just painful to think of it. There was something going on there, I knew it, but I was no closer to the truth. After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store, but all that I found were horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. There were so many things to consider at Norman's place that I was so confused. What the hell was going on? When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel disoriented as when I sleepwalked to think about it. Our house used to feel so lively, so warm, but coming into the kitchen I only felt a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility, but nothing could have prepared me. My wife dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can be offered? Rachel had been taken from me now, and I might never know why. As I swung open the door and stepped onto the air, I caught a scent of the wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife. Just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me to my toes. What would I do now? Who can I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved. Before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was given a soft giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I should stand, but I rather should run. Ah, what the fuck? We got all the trophies, but that's so fucking confusing. God, that game's so confusing. God, that game's so fucking confusing. Why is it so fucking confusing? Oh my god, it's so fucking confusing. Oh, it's such a good game. That was such a good game. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and if you watched all the way through, thank you for watching it. Bye. You know, it was nice being here tonight. It was nice to stream for today. Nice doing all this, taking a break for every once in a while, instead of grinding my mind to the fucking bone. I hope everyone has a nice, lovely weekend, and nice, lovely weekends after that, and days to come in this mass turmoil of what we call life. Hope everyone decides to take that little glimmering light of a second chance into mind and to actually take a risk for it instead of looking at the dead end of depression and all that fun stuff that does not lead to anywhere but a very quick grave, but perhaps to the second light, to which we don't know if it's going to work. But hey man, everything's faith. We don't know if it's gonna happen. Just go for it. Anyways, everyone have a good night, have a good evening, have a good morning, whatever you are, wherever you are. And I will catch you all in the next one. You take it easy. You have a good night.